Hey everybody, welcome to another entry in the Hyrule Compendium, and we've got some good news that you probably already know, but Zelda 2 is coming, or has come, depending on when this comes out, to Nintendo Switch Online. So if you got a subscription, you can now play it, or you will be able to play it soon. What do you think about that in general? It's a good game.
Yeah, it was clearly inevitable.
Yeah.
I mean, once they announced what they're doing with the NES games. But the real question is, after they released The Legend of Zelda, they later came out with the Life of Luxury version. It was like a modified version of the game.
Yeah, made it hold up a little bit better for the modern players, you know.
So right away, especially for a game like Adventure of Link, because it is a very difficult game compared to some of the later games in the franchise.
Even compared to Zelda 1,
yeah.
I'd say. Well, depending.
Yeah, that's arguable, but it's definitely, so it's like, I wonder if they're going to tweak anything to make it more accessible.
Yeah, so what would the special edition of this game be?
So the thing about the Life of Luxury for The Legend of Zelda is everything that they provided for you was something that you could do in the game. They basically played a portion of the game and sort of optimize it as best as possible. With Adventure of Link, since the world is not nearly as open, it's kind of closed off, it kind of limits what they could do in that aspect. The most obvious solution would be the level up system, where they can just upgrade you so you have 9s across, or 8, whatever, so you're fully upgraded.
Yeah.
So they somebody was playing and grinding for 20 hours in the first area to max out all your attack, health, and magic.
They're probably paying someone right now. They're locked in a room, just hours upon end, grinding in that game.
Or they modify the code and just give it to you or something.
Well, that's the thing with this, is I feel like they're not going to do much that involves modifying codes and stuff like that.
Right. So in this game, you can get 4 heart containers and 4 magic containers, but they're locked off to later parts of the world. You can only get 1 heart and 1 magic container at the very beginning. So if they gave you those heart containers, that means there'd be blank caves later on.
Yeah.
That their primary objective is for that. And they're not even accessible until later portions of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll do that. But I think if they give you level 9 health and level 9 attack, I mean, even somebody who's never played the game will be able to take on those first 2 dungeons for sure.
And it's still going to be
level 8,
kind
I should say.
of tough.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the enemies become pretty easy, but...
Yeah, because some of the more difficult enemies, you don't really encounter them until much later in the game. But some of them, like in the Death Mountain region, are hard.
Yeah.
Like the Darias that, throw the axes. But with a level 8 sword and level 8 health, I mean, it might only take 1 hit to kill him. Maybe 2 for some of the maybe the red ones. So, and even if you get hit 3-4 times, you're not going to die.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's still pretty tough for a new player, I think.
Yeah, but it'd make it a lot more accessible to new players, I think.
Plus, save states in general are going to help that game.
Oh, God, yeah.
Of course, that's been a thing.
So with the save states, and maybe if they do that, I mean, that would make a totally different experience for a lot of people who maybe tried Adventure of Link at some point and just, this is too hard, or I don't even want to, I'm just dying over and over.
Yeah.
They get frustrated. Maybe you do that and you get less of that, and maybe some people can get deeper into the game.
Some of that might be unavoidable still in that game.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's pretty, the barrier of entry or whatever is pretty high.
But just like The Legend of Zelda, though, even with the Life of Luxury, once you get to level 8, and especially Death Mountain, it doesn't matter if you're fully upgraded. It's still a difficult dungeon.
Yes, yeah.
And so that's the same with the Great Palace and Adventure of Link. Even if you have fully upgraded, because even when I play the game normally, I'm usually fully upgraded by then. But it's still difficult, and I still die regularly.
How far do you have to play into the palace to get the candle in the first palace?
That's the dungeon item of the first palace, and that's a very short dungeon.
Okay, because I was thinking some of the one of the weird barriers of entry I think in that game that makes it confusing is you have to go through a dark cave that has enemies in it.
One enemy in it, yeah.
It has an enemy, but if you don't know that, I mean, you could just look it up, but if you didn't know that, you'd be like, what is this thing hitting me? It's dark. I'm like, I probably need like a candle or something to get through here, and you head back.
Yeah.
That I always remember that being one of the really weird things about it when I was especially young. That
Right.
was kind of obtuse, but it's not that bad now. But
If they modify the game a little bit and just give you some of the items early on, the hammer, the candle, if you get the hammer or even the raft, so basically you can navigate the whole world right from the get-go.
Yeah.
And choose to go where you want.
Yeah,
Maybe.
if they went that far. But that's, like I said, that's some messing with the code, right?
Yeah, I guess theoretically you could do that, like without actually completing any dungeons, because you can go into the dungeons, get the items, and progress without actually beating the dungeons.
But does that take away from some of the dungeons? Because that was a thing with the original Life of Luxury. The dungeons are still explorable.
Yeah, they're fully intact.
I guess they give you all those keys though.
Right. It would make some of the corridors, like you go down this elevator and you go left like 5 screens, totally obsolete, because what you would find down there is, the raft or something, or the cross, and it's like, oh, you already have that item, so.
Well, I guess that I could see that being okay too, if people are kind of the understanding, like, hey, this is gonna be a little incomplete, but if you have a hard time with this game, here's a way you can explore the world easier.
Yeah, I definitely feel they'll do something. I think they've set the standard with Legend of Zelda, and that will carry over with Adventure of Link.
Yeah, I think that would be nice, because it's a great game that I think more people should try. So how about y'all? Like, you gonna play this game? Will you play this proposed special mode that we made up? Do you feel bad for the guy who's in the room playing it all by himself? Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think. Subscribe, notification bell, etc. Thanks for watching.